So we have looked at 16 points, 16 factors that will help us to evaluate health of any economy in general across the globe. Now let us look at the India's economy and inherent strength of India's economy. And why do we need to do this? Because there are a lot of questions being raised everywhere, and a lot of apprehensions are being expressed everywhere as to the recession is going to set in America, in Europe, in China, in many of the geographies. Will India also face a recession in the foreseeable future? That is the question that we need to answer. I'm not going to answer that question for you. I'm only going to share with you 22 inherent factors or inherent strength of India's economy today, and then let you take a decision as to whether India will face a recession in foreseeable future or it will not face a recession in foreseeable future. I'm going to leave that question with all of you to answer. What are those 22 factors? Number one, there is an abundance of natural resources in this country, renewable as well as non-renewable. Number two, there is an adequacy of skilled and productive manpower, and we all know that India today has a very distinct advantage of demographic dividend. India's 65% population today is below the age of 35, and that is availability of adequate, skilled, and productive manpower. Number three, today India is really rapidly marching ahead as far as the technological advancement is concerned. You all know in every walk of life, whether it is defense or whether it is chip manufacturing, or there is a complete focus today on the development of the technology, and that is factor number 3. Factor number 4, sound manufacturing sector. Factor number 5, sound service sector. 6, adequacy of agri produce or even excess of it. I am sure all of you would be aware that India is today self-reliant as far as the agri produce are concerned. Not only we are self-reliant, as a matter of fact, we are helping many geographies of the world by exporting our agri and fruit food products to many of the geographies. Point number 7, liberal and encouraging policy framework. I'm sure you must have heard of a few months back the government of India came out with something called PLI, productivity linked incentive. So the government is very proactive and is having a liberal and encouraging policy framework so as to promote economic development on all fronts in this country. Number 8, there is a competitive environment. Unlike in the past when we had controlled economy, we had license Raj, we had inspector Raj. Today we have competitive environment. Everyone and anyone is free to do, manufacture, produce whatever they would like. So there is no licenses that you need today for being productive or for setting up manufacturing facilities in this country. Point number 9 is accountable political system. Point number 10, good educational facilities and infrastructure. Of course, there is still a lot to be done in this respect, but we are seeing all over the country the infrastructure on the education front is being brought up very fast. Point number 11, overall good infrastructure and happening more, as we can see, metros, roads, flyovers, telecom, airports, trains, in every respect there is a focus on development of the infrastructure. Point number 12, free flow of capital and technology. So today our forex reserves are to the size of over $600 billion, which is a kind of a record. Plus there is a free flow of technology from outside world as well. Point number 13, tapping and optimization of natural resources. As you are aware, all the natural resources that we have in this country are being tapped to enhance the growth of economy of this country. Point number 14, good governance and transparent administration. With the kind of digitization that has taken place already and is still happening, the level of good governance and transparent administration is improving rapidly. Point number 15, accountable corporate democracy, more so with the advent of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. I'm sure all of you are aware as to how IBC 2016 has changed the corporate scenario in this country. And today, it is well understood that the businessmen and the promoters cannot take the control for granted anymore. So they have to deliver, they have to ensure that they are responsible in making payment to their creditors, financial creditors, and the operational creditors. And if they fail to do, the management is changed and the company is given to somebody else who would run it with profit. Point number 16, there is a people today understand the difference between the profit and value addition or value creation. Point number 17, constant removal of inefficiencies from the system. With the advent of IT, with the advent of technology, with the advent of artificial intelligence, with the advent of blockchain technology, with the digitization, with the fintech, with so many IT companies, people have understood the name of the game today is to remove the inefficiencies from the system and thereby create more value, and that is going to be your major source for sustainability and growth. And therefore, what we have is we have got constant removal of inefficiencies from the system. That is point number 17. Point number 18, natural national culture of character and commitment towards the country and everyone. Unfortunately or incidentally, there was a time in this country when corruption and corrupt people were respected, they were garlanded. They may still be, it may still be happening to some extent, but one can see that by and large there is a reduction in the level of corruption, and by and large we can see that there is a buildup of patriotism in this country, which of course is good for the economy. Point number 19, enough demand for goods and services. Point number 20, strong conviction and belief in the minds of the people and in the minds of the leadership. Point number 21, visionary and decisive leadership. And finally, point number 22, what we see in this country, there's a focus on Atmanirbharta. So leadership all over the country and businessmen and everyone are talking in terms of Atmanirbharta. People have understood if this economy has to grow, if we as a nation has to march ahead with vigor and strength, then the only thing that we have to do is become Atmanirbhar in every respect. And it is not only being spoken, it is also being acted upon. So these, friends, are the 22 inherent strengths today of India's economy. Now you decide, are we likely to face recession in this country in foreseeable future, or we do not have to worry about any such recession in the foreseeable future?